Hello, everyone. Um, this is Chris Ike. Today, we want to continue the issue of the cost of living and what the government is doing to get us or to get us out of this mess. We heard that the government is trying to pass a law to introduce food stamp into the system and also the cash transfer into the system. We've also been hearing about um, how customs are distributing the food, the confiscated food to the people. We know very well this is not really going to everywhere. Everybody is going to selected region, but we want to pick up one or two of the major solutions the government is putting up: the food stamp and the cash transfers. We all know that they are picking up this issue of food stamp from the West. Temporarily, the food stamp will work for them, will work for the government. Not that it will reduce the cost of living, but it will help to calm the people down because the government has so much weaponized poverty. Because the government has so much weaponized poverty that whatever they give to us right now is a favor. Whatever the government gives to us right now, we look at it like, oh, they are doing us something great because they weaponize poverty. Now people cannot feed. So if they give us crumbs, we should be happy. We saw how people are dying in trying to buy the custom rice because they weaponize poverty. We heard of how police are trying to give protesters water and biscuits because they weaponize poverty. Now they want to introduce food stamp and cash transfers as a means of calming us down. But does that solve our problem? Does that take care of the high cost of living? Does that take care of the high inflationary rate in the country? Does that take care of the healthcare problem? Does that take care of the insecurity in the country? The answer to all this is no. We, in one of our videos, we said that the greater part of the food scarcity, the biggest challenge to food in Nigeria, it is the insecurity in the country. Not only that farmers in the north or middle belt are running away, now even farmers in the south are also running away from the farms. And even those that still have their farmland, when they farm their crops, sometimes the cattle railers destroy their items and nobody gets compensated. We have suggested that government should deal with the insecurity. Government should compensate the farmers that were displaced. Government should work hard to bring them back home, not relocate them to another place. We have to bring them back home and protect them. With all the soldiers we are dropping in Southeast, we can send them to those areas. We can police those areas. Nigerians, Nigerians can feed themselves. If you hand us out food stamp, where do we buy the food? And how much are you going to give Nigerians to buy the food? And if you hand out food stamps, is it going to be a continuous process? How can the government sustain it? Then, when we get used to getting the free stuff, you come tomorrow and say you want to stop it. The same way you stopped the fuel subsidy. Even though fuel subsidy happened every part of the world, even when the fuel subsidy happens in every part of the world, we are making all efforts to stop it. But now you want to introduce another subsidy. You want to start feeding us. How many Nigerians can you feed? The workers are asking for an increased wage. You don't want to talk about it, but you want to start giving those who are not working free money just to hold them down. We don't want to invest money on our security. We don't want to improve the policing of the country, but you want to start giving us food stamps and cash transfers. Guys, the government is making us to be beggars because these are part of the reason why people in the Western world are not willing to go back to work because they give them handouts. And once we start getting that handout, we'll all lose focus on our economy. We don't care about what they do as long as they give us something. But how long is it going to last? Can government spend part of the money in trying to secure the country, in providing credit facility for small and medium enterprises, in assisting farmers to go back to farm with subsidy, subsidize their farming, protect their farmlands, be able to guarantee them that your product, any product that you produce that cannot be sold, the government will buy it off from you. We don't need that handout. Assist us to feed ourselves. Don't give us food. Now, people will not talk about it because they've so weaponized poverty that whatever they give to us, oh, the government is doing great. The government is barely doing trial and error, claiming that they are fixing the economy. At the end of the day, when they spend 20, 30 million, they claim they spend 30 billion. We hear everything happening with the humanitarian department, with the humanitarian ministry. And this is where we still want to head to. They told us the reason why they're removing subsidy is because it's costing the government so much. Now they want to introduce food stamp and cash transfers just to calm us down. How much would they be giving us? For a fresh graduate from school that wants to come out to work and get a family, we want to give them food stamps. When these guys are all begging for, make the environment conducive so that we can get job or be able to set up something for ourselves. What are we trying to achieve here? Is the government saying that they can't protect the country or they are not willing to protect the country? Or the government is protecting some interests that are causing this stability? Or the government is involved in the insecurity in the country? Because we see no reason why the government cannot tackle the insecurity. But when you have protests, peaceful protests, you send all soldiers to confront them. We see the kidnapping every day. Now nobody want to risk going by road again because of the insecurity. If they introduce the food stamp and the cash transfers, with those two items protect us. And how are we going to spend that? On the goods that we don't have in the market? That will increase the inflation rate in the country because we'll have more cash chasing fewer goods because our farmers are no more farming. Rather than the government trying to look into these things and also tackle the issue of the northern governors trying to prevent food from coming to the south, they want to introduce food stamps and cash transfers. We thought that the CBN governor and the coordinating minister for finance said in a very short time things will normalize. But it looks like things are not coming together. It looks like we are confused with our policies. If the government does not have idea on how to move the country forward, they should let the guys they brought in go and bring some fresh guys to work with them. Like I said in one of my videos, the government should be able to set up an emergency food war, bring stakeholders, not five stakeholders, every state governors together. And the government should stop playing these pranks by telling us that they gave 30, 40 billion to the state government. When the state government are coming out to say that you don't give them those money. Yes, we can't put all the blame on the presidency, but the president is the head of the country. Nigeria is going in the wrong direction. I know some people will say, "Oh, but the dollar rate is coming down. Naira is good. Naira is getting better." That's a temporary measure. They are forcing it to come down. But how long can they hold it? It's another story. That's for the short while. They are trying to beat speculators to rate by forcing it to come down. If government does not invest in the small and medium enterprise, if government does not invest in farming, not social media propaganda, Nigeria, we are not getting out of this mess. It's very simple calculation. Government should be able to create a credit facility for the farmers and also for the small and medium enterprise and have regional offices or have offices in almost all the whole senatorial zones so that farmers and small and medium enterprise owners can go to this office for assistance to fill their applications for loan, review their document, and assist them to get a loan from the banks. And those loans should be guaranteed by the government. China do it. The US does it. No country will allow their small and medium enterprise to die. Ours is almost gone. We don't have electricity to help them out. The customs are dealing with them. The police are dealing with them. The authorized touts are dealing with them. And still, these guys cannot breathe. If we want to tackle the cost of living, we must go back to the root cause of the scarcity, which is insecurity. I'm not trying to give us handouts to feed us. We don't need the government to feed us. We need the government to show us how to feed ourselves. We also heard about government trying to block food from leaving the country. Yes, you can stop that in the short run, but how long will that sustain? This is supposed to be an opportunity for farmers to produce more so they can earn additional money. Because of our inability to protect them, we're now stopping the few farmers that are still farming from selling their goods. Come on, people. Don't you see that the government has no solution to our problems? Now, government agencies are blaming each other. Oh, we are not the cause of the problem. But it is still the same APC government. Like I said before, the government should stop try and error. We've gone past that. How long will the pregnant woman carry the pregnancy before she delivers? The pain is getting too much that we can't sustain it. We don't need those constant trial and error. And we don't need the food stamps and the cash transfers because we know how it will end up. We need to be able to go back to our farms. We need to be able to get credit facility. We don't care how they put them together. Yes, some people will say Nigerians are criminals. Some will run away with the money. It happens every part of the world. But a proper monitoring and management of it, we sustain it. When there are punishment for those who default, when there are punishment for those who disburse the funds to their own relations that don't have anything doing, then we should be able to sustain it. Don't get me wrong, some will still default, but not majority. Yes, bad things happen to good people. Then the government should learn from it to make it better. Other countries practicing it, they all learn from their mistakes to fix the future. We must not run away from trying to help the farmers and the small and medium enterprises because you think that Nigerians are not credit worthy to be given loans. That is not the right thing to do. We have to find ways to help these people come back to light. Please, the food stamp and the cash transfers will not last for too long, and it cannot solve our problem. Thank you. As always, if you are a leader in this critical situation, what would you do? Will you suggest